Now can you hear me? Good. Hello, my name is Stephen Chavez. Let's all take a deep breath to help me and all of us here ground. And out. Let us pray and let's connect to Spirit. Let's connect to that which we're all always connected to, even when we don't feel it, when we feel ungrounded, like I do right now. And knowing that we're always connected, that we're always grounded to a source of love, of light and wisdom. Let us, again, one more time, deep breath in and out. And let's say our affirmation together. I am immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. Again. I am immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am a millennial, as the rest of us will join you today. And as a millennial, I usually tend to feel worried, ungrounded, and kind of all over the place. So what we're going to do in this service is we're going to, throughout the service, ring the bowl. I'm going to show you here. Whenever we ring that bowl throughout the service, just however you reconnect to that which is larger than ourselves, that which is bigger than ourselves, but that we're also all a part of, within and without of. Just reground, recenter, and reconnect. So welcome everybody, welcome to Unity of Mesa, where we enlighten, empower, and energize one another to uplift the world through a greater expression of God. As I said, I'm Stephen Chavez, I'm a millennial, and joining me today are Mariangel Fernandez, giving announcements, Nicole with a mini lesson and some music later on. Arn Richardson's our board member today, and our guest speaker is Becca Hines and Megan Davidson. And let's welcome Megan Davidson with the song Ain't No Man.
There ain't no man who can save me. There ain't no man that can enslave me. Ain't no man or man that can change the shape my soul is in. There ain't nobody here who can cause me pain or raise my fear, 'cause I got only love to share. If you're looking for a true and proof, you'll find it there. You gotta serve something, ain't that right? I know it gets dark, but there's always a light. You don't have to buy in to get into the club. Trade your worries. You gotta show up if you wanna be seen. If it matters to you, Ma, it matters to me. I'm gonna fall hard, yeah, I know I am. When the crowds crack up, I laugh with them. There ain't no man who can save me. There ain't no man that can enslave me. Ain't no man or man that can change the shape my soul is in. There ain't nobody here who can cause me pain or raise my fear, 'cause I got only love to share. If you're looking for a true line proof, you'll find it there. You say you look funny, I say you're a star. I say you whatever you think you are. Watch the naysayers fall right in line. If we believe it, they'll say, she is so pretty, he is so fine. There ain't no man who can save me. There ain't no man that can nobody here who can cause me pain, erase my fear, 'cause I got only love to share. If you're looking for truth and proof, you'll find it there. You gotta go somewhere, ain't that true? Not a whole lot of time for me or you. Got a whole lot of reasons to be mad, let's not pick one. I live in a room at the top of the stairs. I got my windows wide open and nobody cares. And I got no choice but to get right up when the sun comes through. There ain't no man who can save me. There ain't no man that can enslave me. Ain't no man a man that can change the shape my soul is in. There ain't nobody here who can cause me pain, erase my fear, 'cause I got only love to share. If you're looking for truth and proof, you'll find it there. If you're looking for truth and proof, you'll find it there. If you're looking for truth and proof, you'll find it.
Good morning. I have a few things for you to know today. Only one more week to choose and sign up for the Spirit Group. Spirit Groups are a meaningful way to make new friends and get to know others, unity people on a much deeper level. We have both in-person and online groups available. Last section, participants share testimonials. The Spirit Group experience are excellent opportunity to deepen your spirit journey. Sharing your ideas with a small intimate group bring up in another level, a very rewarding experience. You can see the full testimonial video on the Spirit Group page on our website. And now here's a video about this section of Spirit Group, Touching the Stillness.
Have you ever sat down to try to meditate and you found that your mind is just going, going, going? You've had a hard time making it still. Or maybe you've had a meditation practice, but having the discipline to sustain it has been a bit of a challenge. Well, I am Mindy Audlin, founder of the Spirit Groups program, here with
Paulette Pipe, Touching the Stillness Ministries.
and we want to invite you to a 6-part series called Touching the Stillness. So we're going to be talking about meditation practices. So Paulette, talk about what we're going to be doing in this series together.
I'm really excited about this, Mindy, because there are so many people who think that they can't meditate or that they don't meditate. And so we're going to be sharing mindfulness and meditation practices that will give you some more options and help you to go deeper into your practice. Maybe bust some of those myths that you hold about why you can't do it and why you can't sustain it. Maybe you just haven't found something that works for you.
So we're going to experiment until you find something that works for you. It's going to be a lot of fun, very experiential. We'll get to go deep. So if you haven't signed up for a Spirit Group yet, today's the day. Sign up, and we'll see you there.
Okay. There are a Feminine Presence, a 5-week course for women to start this Wednesday. Sign up in the bookstore or online. More info is coming very soon. If you are interested in becoming a member of Unity of Mesa, and our membership class is Sunday, October 17, 11:45 to 12:45, here or on Zoom. Please sign up online. Visit our Team for You to Know page at unityofmesa.org for class and spirit group information, registration, and more. The first Wednesday of the month is Gone Meditation with Richard Baker be here at 6:45. It's at 7 p.m. And be here at 6:45. Thank you all for sharing your love and light with us this morning. Please know that your soul is welcome here. And now let's share our guiding statement to remind us why we come together. Say it with me. We are here to true mindfulness of who we really are in order to transform the world. Here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nicole Anderson, and let's all take another deep breath. For me, I'm so grateful to be here with you all today. It's been quite a long time since I made the trek out here, out of my little safe bubble at home. I'm actually here to talk to you guys today about the art of feminine presence. So I took the art of feminine presence. There was a mini little show and tell here at the church a few years ago, and I was in this really go-getter stage. And when they asked for a volunteer, I raised my hand right away, and I came up here, and it just felt so right. And I had never been on stage before, so when I started getting really nervous, my tendency is to get smiley, move a lot, and just make sure that everybody's okay, even though I'm very, very nervous up here. So it was magical to see the difference that the art of feminine presence. There was some, I won't go through it with you guys, but there's some visualization exercises that just really helped to ground me. So I'm just going to give you guys a little example. I'm going to tell you guys a story about a doctor's appointment that I had the other day. And I'm going to tell you first from my head, very spacey and flighty. So here I go. Whew, really, really nervous up here talking in front of everybody. Whew, all right. Okay, guys, so I had this doctor's appointment and I was not prepared at all. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't been taking my supplements, and what is she gonna say? She's probably gonna yell at me. Oh my gosh. All right, so I was on the phone with her and she was just like, Nicole, how are you? And I was like, I'm okay, thanks for asking. Let's talk about you, because I don't want to talk about me because I didn't do anything you told me to do. And so we just, basically I just beat myself the whole time, and she was trying to reassure me that I'm doing a good job, but it was just, a complete, utter, I felt like a failure at the end, and I'm just not looking forward to my next doctor's appointment. All right, whew, shake that off. So I had this doctor's appointment the other day. I was pretty nervous because I hadn't been taking my supplements, but to my surprise, when I was chatting with my doctor, she was completely understanding. She said, look at me. We were on a Zoom call. She said, look, I haven't even taken my supplements today. Sometimes life gets busy. You don't need to let that define every day. So tomorrow, wake up, start by taking your supplements. Do one thing that you can do that day. If it's going to be trying to have this giant list of all this stuff you can't do, you have to do, sometimes that can be overwhelming. So let's start with getting yourself one win. Start with those supplements at the beginning of each day, and then those other habits will start to come in, and then things will fall into place. And at the end of it, I was just really feeling heard and comforted, and I am really grateful for my doctor. I can't wait until that I can have another opportunity to share the growth that I've made the next time that I see her. So as you can see, when we're kind of living up in our head, sometimes we have that nervous energy. Everybody can feel it. Everybody knows how you're feeling. So when you can kind of drop down and into, we call it home, your sacred space, no matter where you are, you're always safe, you're always home, and you can always just check in by taking a deep breath. The art of feminine presence has helped me find my voice. It's helped me realize that it's safe to be in my body. It's safe here. So I encourage you all, if you want to feel a little bit more grounded and feel safe and at home wherever you are, check out Reverend Judy's Art of Feminine Presence coming up soon. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Becca. I've been a part of Unity for a few years, so I feel like I know a good chunk of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm Becca. So I'm here to do the meditation with you guys, with Stephen providing backup. So, I want to take you guys through one of my personal favorite guided meditations. It's really good for grounding. It just really helps recentering. It's not too long, and I feel like it's very helpful just to do every day. Okay, so everyone take in a deep breath and release. Take in another, and just feel connected, feel grounded to the space. Feel grateful that we can all be here together, taking these breaths, sharing this connection with each other, whether we're here in the chapel or online. And as you continue to breathe, imagine a wave of light coming up towards the soles of your feet. As you breathe in, the light moves closer, and as you exhale, the light recedes again. And each time you breathe in, the light enters your body further, first going up the backs of your legs, up to your knees, and breathe out, and that wave of light recedes again. Another deep breath in, and this time the light moves all the way up your legs to your hips. You feel it filling your body. And release. Another deep breath, and the light reaches all the way up into your chest, your heart space, filling you with its glow, with its comfort. Release, and the light recedes all the way back down to the soles of your feet. Again, another deep breath in. This time the light fills up to your shoulders, cascading down your arms. Feel it in the tips of your fingers. And release again. Another breath in, and it fills your whole body. Enveloped in light, you feel at peace. And as you release your breath and the wave recedes, you know that wave can come back at any time, that you can always be filled up with its light. As we continue to breathe in the silence, allow the wave to fill your body as you inhale, and release down the soles of your feet as you exhale. We are safe. We are present. We are loved. As we return to the room, we allow that light to fill us one last time. Feel it filling you up. Thank it for its presence, and then release, again knowing that it can never leave us. And as we move forward into our days, full of light, we remember our affirmation: I am immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And now we'll have Stephen take us to our song, Raising the Veil.
Between me and my God, no separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I want to know you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to see you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to hear you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to feel you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to praise you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to love you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. Try one more time. Let's think these words to ourselves. Between me and my God, no separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil.
Hello again. All right, so we are splitting our talk today between Megan and I. So I have the first part where I get to talk to you all about who millennials are, right? We're not just the people running this service. We also have a history just like every other generation. So I'm going to be talking to you about that, and then Megan will take the second half of the talk. We'll talk more about that later. So who are the millennials? So millennials are the age group for those who were born between 1981 and 1996, currently 25 to 40 years old. I think this sometimes surprises lots of people because they still think of millennials as teens or early 20s, but we're aging just like everybody else. We are the second largest generation behind baby boomers. And actually, a lot of our parents are actually baby boomers. So this makes sense. We have several different names. We're sometimes called Gen Y, although Gen Y actually has different date ranges. Millennials encompass a little part of Gen X and a little part of Gen Y, and yeah, we're just kind of all over the place, which is apropos. We're also called Gen Me, as in me, and we're also called Echo Boomers, as we've kind of ridden this wave of our large numbers, just like the boomers before us. There have been a bunch of us coming of age at once. So I want to kind of return to the fact that we're called the me generation, because there has been in the media for a really long time the idea that millennials are very entitled, that we're very selfish. We think only of ourselves and nothing else. If you can't please us, hit the road, Jack. But I think that part of that was because, over the past 10 years, we have been coming of age, right? We've been college age kids, really, early 20s, just trying to get a hold of our lives. And I think we all kind of make some silly mistakes and decisions when we're that young. But now I feel like millennials have moved a little bit more from that stage. It's also compounded, though, by the fact that the world doesn't really work the way it used to, 30, 40 years ago, when a lot of our parents were out, starting families, getting jobs, everything like that. The value of the dollar has been decreasing ever since World War II, so we all know about that. But even more than that, for millennials, housing costs have either risen or stayed the same. So a lot of millennials feel like they can't afford to buy a house, start a family. And then they become long-term renters, which of course just leads into the same, we never build equity, we never build our own personal wealth. So we're just kind of stuck in a loop. Another big factor for that is student debt. So millennial generation, according to the Pew Research Center, I like research centers, so it's going to be a little data heavy just because it's me, but that's okay. The millennial generation is the most educated group, with 39% of millennials holding a bachelor's degree, in comparison to 29% of Gen Xers, 25% of baby boomers, and 15% of the silent generation. So more of us have gone to college and completed our 4-year degrees. We were just expected to. I feel like our generation was just told, if you want to have a good paying job, if you want to succeed in life, you go to college, you get a degree. Fortunately, the world we're living in, that isn't always the case. A lot of people now have degrees, and so it's almost decreased the value of having that degree as something special since it's now so widespread. It's also resulted in a lot of student debt. So as of early 2020, student loan debt had hit $1.6 trillion as an industry. And a majority of that is because of millennials and taking out loans for college. So it's definitely a roadblock to being able to start life when you're already burdened with such a big debt kind of right out of the gate. Students also weren't able to pay off debt like previous generations were while they were in school. I know some people say, well, just go get a second job or, have a part-time job when you're in college so that you can start making payments. Well, I know I myself, I had 2 part-time jobs when I was in college, and it was just to make my ends meet so I could eat food and also read my textbooks. I also had a bit of a mental breakdown when I was a junior, but I don't think that's related at all. I knew quite a few people who were doing the same thing I was too. I wasn't really alone in that. And a lot of people, again, were just trying to make ends meet. Didn't necessarily have help from parents who were struggling after the recession had hit. So a lot of that financial hardship makes people feel insecure, right? You don't want to take the step to being a quote unquote adult, getting a house, getting married, because you feel, like, how can I afford that? How can I give kids a good start to life when I myself am still struggling? So a lot of people ended up living with their parents even after graduating college and, while they tried to get their feet under them. And I don't know about you, but when I go over to my parents' house, I feel like a little kid again. Everything gets taken care of, the laundry's done, I get food on the table, I don't have to do the dishes, it's great. But if someone's living in that environment, you can see how it might decrease their maturity level sometimes, right? If they're used to that kind of treatment on a day-to-day basis, it'd be easy to see how someone would feel like millennials are just entitled, they just lay around their parents' houses all day in their sweatpants and eating their avocado toast. Another thing about millennials is that we are one of the most diverse populations in terms of generations, bringing more racial and ethnic variety to our culture than any generation before us. Again, Pew Research Center. This has made it so that we're more aware of different issues, racial, civil rights issues, and the term social justice gained a lot of traction when millennials were starting to come of age. And that was the new it phrase when I was in college. I was on the social justice board for my dorm, and that was a brand new thing. So millennials value compassion and empathy because of this, because they're such in close contact with other people. Millennials live in cities more often than they live in small towns, and so they do see a lot of different people, different ideologies. You also hear a lot about how millennials kill industries. You all know those news articles. Millennials are killing the hedge fund industry, which I hope so. So I feel like this is, again, a fundamental misunderstanding of where millennials are coming from. Brand loyalty doesn't really mean all that much to millennials. What matters are social issues that companies take on. We care about what are you doing to better the world? Tell me what you're spending on, helping the environment, on reducing, our carbon footprint from anything that we're doing at these companies. And I feel like companies say, well, I'm saving you $1 with these discounts and rates. And millennials say, well, that's great. Sure, I'll take it because I'm needing any help I can get. But they value compassion and they value codependency in terms of global issues so much that they are willing to spend a little bit more to go to a company that they feel has better values, or to work for a company that might pay them less but have better values. So I think it's just a paradigm shift from previous generations that some companies don't know what to do with. We also tend to want to have our cake and eat it too. I will own that. In terms of individual rights and the global community, we want everybody to get along, but we also want to feel like we ourselves as individuals are valued, right? So we want to have the individual happy and the group happy, which is kind of an impossible task sometimes. Millennials are also, in my view, kind of pessimistic, and we tend to see the world as a glass half empty instead of half full. And that's because we had a lot of change in our lives when we were really young. So the biggest that I can think of is technological changes. We still remember a time when the internet was not in every home, when you didn't run home and just turn on like a video game or something like that. You couldn't just chat your friends on an IM, at least not at first. So we remember going out and playing on the street even with our actual bodies. So then we saw during like our middle and high school years that gradual shift away from that kind of interaction with our peers and more towards I'm going to run home and sit at a computer so I can talk to my friends instead of going out and playing with them. So we have a lot of nostalgia, even though we're still fairly young. We have a lot of nostalgia for a simpler time in our childhoods. You hear all the time, oh, only 90s kids know, blah, 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 because it's such a shift away from what Gen Zers and even some later millennials experienced. We also had a lot of rough global events in our life. So when the war on drugs started, that was in the 80s, and lower income families arrests skyrocketed. So a lot of kids grew up with an absent parent. as a result of that, or knew someone with an absent parent. We also were young when 9/11 occurred, which was a huge shift. As we all know, it affected all of our generations. But I think for millennials specifically, we saw that there was this fear introduced in society when we were still growing, we still were in our formative years. And I think that had a really lasting impact on us. The millennials that I talked to about 9/11, they remember exactly where they were, just like we all do, but I think there was that feeling of just bewilderment that came with it. And I think that while some older generations, of course, felt that too, millennials really kind of internalized that feeling and brought it forward with them. Pile on the Great Recession that happened at the end of the same decade, and it's no wonder that we're so pessimistic. We tend to delay major life choices because we are afraid. You can see that life is like a house of cards that can crumble at any moment. And so I think a lot of millennials felt, well, I won't do anything until I'm absolutely sure it's rock solid, which of course doesn't really help us because then we don't, get moving forward with life. So when I put all these pieces together and look at it, one kind of thing stands out for me. Millennials are worriers. And you can see that from all of our reactions of being up here, we're worriers. We care about opinions of others. We care about the global community. We care about the world around us, but we also feel a sense of caution whenever we're interacting with anything. We're always looking for, well, what's the possibility that this could all blow up in my face? We're looking for something that can be tailor-made to our individual lives, but that helps us to connect to a bigger, larger community. So as we millennials were talking on our Zoom call to kind of put this whole service together, we felt that Unity has provided that for us. We love being at Unity because it gives us that ability to have our own thoughts and our own belief system without, saying it has to be this one certain way or, it's no good. Unity gives us that ability to have the flexibility and to have our own ideals, but still create a sense of community and space. So I think it's actually kind of perfect for millennials to be here. So we wanted to highlight a specific practice that we do here at Unity that we feel like is, very beneficial, which is the groundedness and the meditation, because that can speak to anyone, anywhere. We all understand how cleansing and how wonderful it is to take those deep breaths in our crazy lives. And we need that quite a bit as millennials, as young families still trying to get out from underneath student debt or, find the wings to be on our own. We definitely do need that grounding experience. And it's even more powerful when we share that with others. So we wanted to focus on that with the bowl meditation. Megan's going to be talking about meditation in general so that we could really talk about how much of an impact that has on our lives and how much millennials really appreciate those practices. So in true millennial style, Megan is going to be speaking to us via video. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for letting us be part of your community.
Good morning, Unity of Mesa. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Davidson, and if you don't know me, I am a past board member. I used to teach Sunday school and work back in the AV booth. I found Unity back in 2014, and it absolutely changed my life. And then in 2019, I got homesick and I moved back to Minnesota. And then life happened, and then COVID happened. And the small silver lining there is that things went virtual, and I am able to connect with you all again. And I am so grateful to be here today. And to those of you that do know me, I miss you all so much. So very much. I cannot wait to come down and visit and bring my little Lennon with for all of you to meet. But until then, I am here to bring you a lesson about meditation. And if I am being honest, I have been very
nervous and anxious, not just because this is my first time doing something on camera, but because I procrastinated in true fashion of me. And also because, if I'm being totally transparent, I have not been up with my spiritual practices as much as I'd like to be. But hey, that's okay, right? It happens to us all. It's not about the falling off the wagon that matters. It's about the getting back on. So if you are in that boat, join me. Let's get back into our practices. If not, I hope there is something, like a refresher, something you can take away and learn from what we'll be talking about today. So let's get into it. Meditation and millennials. So why is it so hard as a millennial, or not even as a millennial, just in general? But from a millennial perspective, we are kind of a paradox. We were born without the internet, and then we grew up with it. We had the dial-up, we had the 2 phone lines, and then now it's all in the palm of our hands, and we can't even bear the idea of not having it. We long for the non-tech days and to feel connected to something bigger than ourselves, yet we're like riddled with FOMO. Hello, social media. Although I do have like an inkling that there's going to be like a rebirth of like analog life. So we'll see if that actually happens. Another thing with meditation being, quote, hard, is it kind of can feel like a big to-do. We don't know how to prioritize it and like work it into our everyday. And then to like top it all off, we are so easily distracted, and there's nothing more we love than instant gratification. Hello, Amazon. Click, boom, Prime. It's on my doorstep in 2 days. But remember to use Amazon Smile. Is it? I think it's like Church or Unity of the East Valley. Yeah, I think that's it. Use it. Anyways, so let's talk about being distracted and like distractibility. We are so distracted. Work, kids, to-do list, schedules, go, 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 go. And then all of a sudden, ding, a notification goes off on our phone, and we end up scrolling for longer than any of us would like to admit. I mean, have you ever checked your screen time on your phone? Mine is yikes. And then the day just gets away from us, right? And then it's another day we haven't meditated, and it's like, shoot, we know how much better we would feel with it, yet we somehow didn't get to it. So in preparation for this talk, I was looking on YouTube, finding things, and I came across this TED Talk by a guy named Richard Davidson. How serendipitous, right? Anyways, in the TED Talk, he talks about this study that was done, and it says that the average American spends 47% of their life not paying attention to what they're doing. Isn't that crazy? Like, we can do better, right? And then in addition to that, they reported that while they weren't paying attention, they were significantly less happy. They even had named that study, "A Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind." Now, obviously, this thinking and wandering mind isn't all bad. We need it for certain things. Its job is to keep us safe. But it's important that we don't live continually in that realm of elsewhereness. We need to be able to notice and pause and let go, especially of the things, the thoughts that don't serve us, right? But it's like, okay, now what? Like, how do we build this practice? Prioritizing a daily practice, even if it's 5-10 minutes, can feel so overwhelming, especially when you sit down and you try and do it and it doesn't feel like it worked or went well. Your mind was racing, you got interrupted, etc., etc. That wandering thinking mind goes, this doesn't work. Where's my instant gratification? But what if we could introduce something called a micro meditation? This is something I heard about in a podcast I listened to, and it really struck me. A micro meditation, like that's so easy, right? That if it doesn't feel like a full practice, doesn't feel like I have to like set aside time, but it's micro. And what's that, right? So what the idea is that it's one fully present breath, a couple of seconds to pause, turn inwards, and take a deeply delicious belly breath. That's it. Can you integrate that little practice multiple times a day? It's amazing how much of a difference that practice multiple times can make. Because although I haven't been doing a nice long practice like I would like, after I heard that in the podcast, I did start to implement that a lot. And it really has made a difference in the way I feel, in my mindset. Like, it's so calming. Has someone ever cut you off? Pause. One deep breath. Long line when you're in a rush? Pause. One deep breath. The kids are whining? Pause. Go inwards. Take one deep breath. And then from there, are you able to build upon that one breath, that one micro meditation? Because 5 to 7 of those is 1 minute. I don't know who else has a watch, but these watches remind you that just 1 minute of breathing can help you focus. And then 15 to 21 of those, that's 3 minutes. That's the length of an average song. A teeth brushing session, if you will. Humans never brushed their teeth until they did, So in the beauty of all this is that when you spend more time in this space, the more familiar it becomes, thus requiring less effort. And it will get you to a more sustained, regular, longer practice. And even better is that when you do this, you gain what is called meta-awareness, the ability to know what your mind is doing, kind of like seeing it from a bird's eye view. You get to see the behaviors, the patterns, and you are more easily able to let go, yet also hold on to those moments that matter the most, or even the ones that maybe don't, but that just bring you into the here and now and remind you to notice like just how beautiful life really is. And then that feeling of disconnection and separateness fades away, and in its place, you feel more connected to everyone and everything. And so, in closing, I think that we should micro-meditate together, right? So, let's do that. Let's take one deep breath. Ready? Yes. Feels so good. To one breath and beyond. Thank you so much for having me.
That was fun. Thank you. It was great to see Megan again, too. So we here at Unity of Mesa are abundantly blessed. And living in the Christ invites us to remember that we are connected to Source and life flows through us. We give as Source to what we care about and what we want to see thrive. And as we give of our time, talents, treasures generously, the work we do here prospers. There are many ways to financially support the spiritual community. Indirectly through Amazon affiliates, the website links, and adding Unity Church of the East Valley to your favorite charity on Smile Amazon and the prize reward. Or directly giving to Give Online link. Our Give Plus app has been or is in the process of being replaced by Vanco. And so this is actually the last week of being able to use Give Plus, and then it will automatically roll into Vanco. You can do that through your debit cards, credit card payments, do it through the bookstore. And all the info on how you can give and more can be found on our website, unityofmesa.org. Now, please take your gifts in your hands, and holding our gifts in our hands and in our minds, we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the greatest expression of the Spirit through the work of this community. Let us affirm together our offering blessing. Together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We give thanks for the givers and the gifts.
So there must be something to this stuff, because at the beginning of this service, I was crazy all over the place, but I feel a lot more centered, embodied in here. So thank you all for having us. We're going to play this song called Living in the Moment, and it's a very catchy song, so if you want to clap, move your body, whatever you want to do. Here we go. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just want to be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe that they can be the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who will always remind me to live in the moment, keep living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home.
I can't walk through life facing backwards. I have tried. I tried more than once to just make sure, and I was denied the future I'd been searching for. I spun around and hurt no more by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home.
I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life, just taking it easy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. One more time. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life, just taking it easy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment.
So thank you. Thank you, Millennials. Yes. So the one thing I can tell you about Millennials, if they say they're going to be there and do it, they are. And we had 2 of them who spent most of the night in the emergency room taking care of something. And I think you went home about 5 this morning. Yes. So we just, if they say they're going to show up, they show up for you, and they're amazing. And if you missed the acronym FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out. So if you have FOMO, that means you have to always check your phone, because you may miss out on something, because, Facebook, it comes up, but then it disappears. So I've got to see it all the time. So it's a real addiction that comes up with the technology. And for those of you who don't know her, Nicole is our nursery worker. She has watched all of our babies and our little ones for several years now, and we're waiting to bring them back on until things have settled just a little bit more. And we're looking forward to having her back with our little ones and taking care of them. So the new Vanco piece, it's a back office piece that is changing. And Lori said that the back office has made it much easier to do lots of the things that they need to do. So please take the time to change over to it. Lori has a tutorial almost done that will go up on the website this week to tell you exactly step by step what you will see on the screen and what you should push to be able to just change your account over to that. So please check that out. Give her a few days. She had it all up on Friday and it crashed. And so she's reconfiguring it. And I think, for those who don't know, I'm Reverend Judy. And so I think that's all I need to say to you, except bookstore is closed today. But if you would like to, they're giving me all those messages back there. And if you would like to sign up for any classes, though, or make any donations, we are accepting payment for classes. It would be spirit groups and AFP. And you know what? Join something. Say yes to something, because it changes lives, right? It changes lives. And all 4 of them have been in classes. It changes your lives. And but you can get back there to do that. And then the other pieces, we have chaplains available. We have Sharon, maybe. Yes, Sharon and John both have their souls on, and they are always honored to pray with you. Unity is rooted in prayer. And our theme next month is in the stillness and beyond. So whatever you do, if you're participating with us, you're going to get to spend some time looking at prayer and how that impacts your life. And so for now, let us close with our prayer for protection together. Maybe like you're connected hand to hand energetically. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Hallelujah. Thank you, Millennials. Have a wonderful week, everyone.